Queer lit, no chill. Some crumbs of academia, mostly chaos. If queer lit is your love language, we're fluent. Heads up, babes, we're not here to tease. We spill everything. Listener discretion is strongly encouraged, but honestly, you knew that. Welcome to Cliterature the Podcast.
Michelle laughed. It was a quiet but delightful sound. No, Audrey, I will not be joining in while you ungrateful colonists celebrate how thankful you are for breaking free from us. Believe it or not, Thanksgiving is not a thing in the UK. Ungrateful colonists.
I mean, that is exactly what we are.
100%, yeah.
100%. The privilege is so incredibly real.
Right.
On all fronts.
Do you forget that Thanksgiving's not a thing other places, that it's just an us thing?
I don't forget because I feel like the last few years, okay, since having a kid and explaining the purpose of holidays, it's made me very much more aware of what I do and do not support.
Correct, yeah.
When it comes to like U.S. holidays.
Well, yeah, and it makes you more aware of the not so public background of a lot of these. So,
yeah, and like the way that they teach us about Thanksgiving in school and the way that we got it, all of that, I'm 100% gonna have to unschool her.
Yeah.
When she learns about that, be like, that is not actually how any of that went down.
Right.
Like
Just
at all.
Up.
It's not okay.
There's more to the story.
Post-colonialism is real and alive in this. We're getting off to a great start.
Note, welcome to Cliterature the Podcast.
Welcome. We are back. It is
episode what?
4.
Woo! The Thanksgiving episode, apparently.
Yeah. Well, we're dropping this baby on November 1st, so
yeah.
Everybody be very, very conscious of how you celebrate your Thanksgivings. We love our families and we love food, but
yeah, it's Stretchy Pants Day.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
It's Stretchy Pants Day.
I celebrate the food. I don't celebrate the history of it.
Facts.
Not
I
even a little bit.
Turkey. Also, just off topic, but cranberry sauce, yes or no?
Eh.
Eh?
I can live without it.
I love it, but it's got to be can shaped.
It's got to look like a
jellied,
can.
and it's got to be shaped like a can.
See, I think I might be a little more bougie than that.
Well, I'm not shocked, but yeah. I mean, I love you. What?
Make it from scratch or I don't want it. She's laughing, but I'm only halfway joking.
Stay tuned for Haley's recipe drops.
Oh, also, I can't cook. So
she literally has a plate that used to hold a peanut butter and jelly sandwich next to her.
Yeah, with my Capri Sun and my wine glass.
Because we're adults.
Yeah, we're classy.
Sophisticated, classy adults. This one's going places. This episode.
Oh, geez. We're just reeling them in.
I'm Dee, by the way.
I'm Haley.
And this is Cliterature
the Podcast.
Thanks for joining us while we talk about this month's book, Learning Curves by Rachel Lacey.
I loved it. I
did too. I've been telling everybody about this book.
Yeah, it was the epitome of fall vibes.
Fall vibes.
It was fantastic. It was academia gold.
It checked all of our boxes.
100%.
The
100%.
Student teacher, like crush on your professor thing.
Love it.
Age gap. Mm-hmm. We both love it. Grumpy sunshine, and this grumpy was extra grumpy.
Super grumpy and super sunshine. Like they were polar opposites in the best way. I do want to mention, have we talked about the fact that both of our wives are older than us?
I think we've like alluded to it.
Okay.
But we've not like thrown the actual deets down. Yeah.
We love an age gap and we live an age gap. It's fantastic. It's probably why we love it so much.
I guess. Yeah, I think so. That is one of the things I think that we bonded over at the very beginning. So we can attribute that to our friendship. But yeah, also before we get any farther, published this year, published 2025.
Yeah.
So the newest book that we've covered so far, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool. So I loved off the bat how Audrey was not scared of talking about how she had such a crush on Dr. Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
As it was. Like, Dr. Thompson and her tweed jacket was, I Audrey's self-proclaimed bi awakening.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I have a quote right here that I was not going to share, but you just said that.
Yeah.
And so this one is a ton of highlighters, but it said, Dr. Thompson had always had an affinity for tweed, and Audrey had always had a weakness for seeing her in it.
ooh, yes. Ooh. Yeah. And I mean, who has not had a crush on like a professor?
Oh my God.
When you were in college.
Yeah. I mean, this just goes back to every little lesbian, every little bi girl had an English teacher that they loved, or an English professor that they loved. Art professor.
As well, yeah.
I mean, it goes hand in hand. These creative women in tweed.
In
We
tweed.
talk about, I don't know. Yours didn't wear tweed, did she?
Yeah, I think there was a tweed moment or two.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I think it was a height thing, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
She was tall.
I think I also, in my head, because you and I were talking about this before we started recording, I think Audrey and Michelle are approximately the same height, close to it. It doesn't mention anything about one of them being much taller than the other. But I think I just, in my head, made Michelle much taller than Audrey. Yeah. And I think it was
She has a tall presence.
Yeah, she does. She has a tall presence. I think it was just like her personality being so strong. Yeah. My head just
she's standing up very straight.
Yeah,
her
girl got posture for days. It's the Brit in her.
Yeah, her mother would have it no other way.
And God, I want to have a cup of tea in her office so bad.
I know, and she always had sweet little blends, and you could come in and...
Yeah. Facts, though, I have been drinking so much more tea since reading this book.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cute.
I'm about to buy some, like, actual, like, imported British tea.
That's really cool.
So, yeah.
Well, my wife just got back from Morocco, and she brought back some mint green tea.
Ooh.
And she says it's fantastic. We should
try
have a
some of
glass.
that.
Yeah.
Also, the college, very short synopsis. Audrey was a student at the college. Dr. Thompson, Michelle, her professor, had a huge crush. And now Audrey is an art professor at the college she went to.
Yes, her alma mater. She's returned.
She is colleagues with her former professor and by awakening crush across the hall office neighbors. So the college, I was super impressed with the way that they talked about the college being very inclusive. I think that was really cool. And Audrey even made a comment, I think at one point, about how that had changed and gotten much better since she was a student there.
Talking about the all gender bathroom, and she was like, this wasn't here when I was here, but I'm so happy to see that it is. That just shows progress.
Yeah.
So.
And Michelle's like one of the sponsors of the Pride Coalition, so the student pride organization.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. So Michelle's not so friendly when we start this off.
Well, she's not excited because early in the book, you find out that Audrey got given a class to teach, which is women in art. And it was inspired by her time in Michelle's class when she was actually a student. And she had collected this fantastic list of women artists that need to be highlighted and proposed a class to the dean, I guess.
Yeah. The head of the department.
The head of the department. And he gave it to Audrey when he hired her. But then we find out that Michelle had been asking to teach that class for like years.
Years.
And he had always said no. And so she doesn't tell Audrey that, but she's like even a little bit more ice queen because obviously she's got her feelings hurt.
Yeah.
And also she's jealous.
She did remember Audrey, though. I went and reread that today to see because I couldn't remember. I think I just assumed that she wouldn't remember her. But she remembered Audrey and how Audrey was such a good and enthusiastic
I assume
student.
that all of my professors remember me.
I assume all of them don't remember me.
We are completely different people. I'm like, yeah, he totally remembers me.
I'm like, me?
She knows
little old me? Who would remember me?
We go way back. I'm probably
especially
dead
considering
wrong,
I went to a college that was tiny, where everyone
all
knew
remember
everybody.
you, D. Give yourself some credit.
We'll see. But yeah, so they're colleagues now, and Michelle's definitely burnout. She's showing some signs of burnout. She's kind of just phoning everything in, and most of the other people in the department don't really like her or think that she's not super nice.
Yeah, because when Audrey came back, she was so pumped to be the colleague of her favorite professor.
This professor that inspired her to be a professor. So
yeah. Because she's the one that told her to get into academia. She was like, you'd be fantastic at that. And then she goes on to become a professor and finally gets a job.
This is her dream job.
At
and
her
this
alma
professor
mater.
is not who she remembered at all, other than the hotness and the tweed.
She still looks great.
She still looks fantastic.
Yeah. But you can tell, like, Audrey is questioning often in the beginning, like what happened, like why did her fire go out? Because she was so on fire about all of these women artists and just art in general. And then she comes back and it's like she can barely do,
she
you know,
even
art
said in
101.
on one of her classes and noted that she talked mostly about famous men, like renowned male artists.
Yeah, just like checking boxes on a syllabus, not really passionate about it anymore, which was a huge deal for Audrey when she was a student because her passion carried over to the students and it wasn't doing that anymore now.
I did love how Audrey was determined. She was not going to stop until they were at least friends.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm going to break through these little icy walls and get to the heart of this person and we're at least going to be friends. And she was persistent.
Yeah.
Which was tough because Michelle did not make that easy on her. I do think we saw a little bit of Michelle start kind of cracking and coming through around the Halloween party.
Oh, yeah.
For the Pride Coalition that Audrey helped chaperone. You particularly enjoyed their costume selection.
I loved their costumes. So Michelle, obviously, she's way more stoic than Audrey is. And she dressed up as Ann Lister, which is the main character in Gentleman Jack, if any of you have watched it. And Audrey was like, oh my God, you're Ann Lister. And then even comments on the fact that like every single piece of her entire body is covered.
Oh, they talk about the historical romance of like
the ankle,
the ankle or the wrist.
Sexy ankle. Yeah.
Scandalous.
Yeah, scandalous. But I love the fact
Heaven
that
forbid a collarbone show.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it was just the most fantastic juxtaposition to Audrey's weird Barbie. and Michelle was like, what is this? What is this costume? And she was like, weird Barbie. Hadn't seen it.
All the students loved it.
They
though.
did. They did.
Absolutely loved Weird Barbie.
But also, I love Ann Lister because she was like the OG lesbian. Yeah. Like, that's like people think
we all trace our roots back to Ann Lister.
Ann Lister. I mean, Ann Lister, Emily Dickinson, Virginia Woolf. But Ann Lister was alive from 1791 to 1840. She was a wealthy landowner from Halifax, England, often called the first modern lesbian.
Okay.
Which is fantastic.
Get it, Anne.
Get it. But she kept diaries. It says that she had over 5 million words of diary entries.
But they were written in code, right?
Exactly. 1/6 of them were written in a secret crypt hand that she made up herself, and she mixed up Greek letters, algebraic symbols, and punctuation marks. Like, only she could read it. Okay. Nobody could read it. And there was this lady named Helena Whitbread, and she was a teacher and not a historian at all. And she recognized that some of the letters were Greek letters and just took it upon herself to decode all of her diaries. And they were just all of these entries about all of the women that she had slept with. Like, she was just keeping a little black book.
Listen, Anne had moves.
She
Anne
did.
Had game.
Yeah. It was very unapologetically lesbian of her to write down all of her conquests in her diary. Very explicit details.
Yeah.
But, she had to write in code because, she would have been, I don't know, stoned. I don't know what happens in 1791. I'm obviously not a historian.
We're real
either.
good at history, guys.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think that's so cool.
I think it could not have been a more perfect choice for a costume for Michelle.
No.
I have tried to figure out another costume she could have worn that would have even come close to being that good. And I can't come up with it.
I mean, honestly, I thought she wouldn't dress up. Like, I did not expect her to have a costume, and the fact that she dressed up. Or
something like really, really simple and like a t-shirt that said, "This is my Halloween costume," and then she wore a tweed jacket over it or something.
Yeah.
Or she maybe cosplay some famous, obscure female queer painter or something. Oh, yeah,
that nobody would know.
Yeah. Ann Lister, man. Nailed it.
That was perfect. She nailed it. And Audrey lapped it up.
Rachel Lacey, 10 out of 10 on that one.
10
Good job.
out of 10, for sure.
I also need to take a moment. There was the cutest, most heartwarming, kind of brought a tear to my eye moment at this Pride Coalition Halloween party.
Yeah.
Where Audrey saw a student off to the side, kind of by themselves, edge of the party situation, and made a point to walk over and talk to her. Very friendly, very nonchalant, not even trying to point out that this person seemed very nervous or whatever. And sweet little Kaylee let us know that that nobody knew she was there. Her parents didn't know she was at a pride event, and she was really nervous, you could tell. And I think she even said something about she wasn't even sure how she identified.
She was just there.
She was just there, testing the waters. And Audrey introduced her to some of the other people in the group. And by the end of that party, Kaylee was out there just tearing it up on the dance floor, having the night of her life.
So sweet. That's so sweet. Small things like that are so important. I mean, if you go, I don't know, and they're so small, like just being like, hey, how you doing? Are you okay? And then people open up. They always will. And having an adult that is also queer to be like, it's fine that you don't know what you're doing. It's fine that you don't know who you are or what you want. Like none of us do. And it always changes. So like you don't have to have anything concrete. Just feel what you feel and that's it. Like we're here to support you.
Yeah. I had a couple handfuls of like queer friends throughout like, college years and stuff after I came out. But when I was in my 20s, late 20s maybe, I can't remember exactly when it happened. It was right before I got married.
Yeah.
I had a chance to go to like a convention. It was kind of like a queer Comic-Con convention.
Okay.
And that was the first time I was ever in a room with that many queer people at one time. And I kind of felt like Kaylee felt. Like I went by myself to Las Vegas for this week for this convention, didn't know a soul. And remember the first few events, like standing on the outskirts, being very intimidated, but also so jazzed because there were this many queer people. And I kind of feel like Kaylee felt a little bit like that, being in a room for the first time with that many queer people, in a space where she felt like she could actually be who she wanted to be. And oh my gosh, it just like I teared up a little bit.
It was really so sweet.
That's also where I think Audrey really starts breaking down a lot of Michelle's walls, and they really start getting flirty. Which
there were vibes for sure.
There were vibes the whole time, but this is where it really starts opening up, and we finally get them kind of talking about doing things outside of work and work events. Yeah. Which leads Audrey to invite Michelle over to her house for a pottery lesson. Yeah. I don't know that we've mentioned it, but Audrey's passion is ceramics. Yes. And she teaches a ceramics class as part of the art curriculum.
And she also just makes ceramics on the side and gives them to friends and sells them as like a side hustle.
So one of the bedrooms in her house is set up as a studio. And so Michelle comes over to see this studio and maybe get a pottery lesson. And we have to, this moment, y'all don't even know. I really wish someone could have seen my face when I read this for the first time. So Audrey's showing her into this room, and it's a pottery studio. There's a wheel, there's racks of like pottery in progress, all this stuff. And Audrey's talking to her, and Michelle just deadpans, "Now I'll know where to picture you." And dead stop.
I mean, they hadn't even done anything.
No, they hadn't kissed.
They hadn't kissed. They hadn't held hands. They hadn't talked about having feelings. Nothing.
They're barely friends, really.
Barely friends. They have tea together.
And she's like, "Now I'll know where to picture you."
Excuse me?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Doing what? Picture me doing what?
But picture me doing whatever you want, apparently.
Audrey didn't even say anything.
She just kept rolling.
She just heard it.
And I really believe that that's one of those things that Michelle really meant to say in her head and not out loud. But also still, like, ma'am.
You're not going to answer that? Like,
excuse me. Whew.
Now I know where to picture you.
I had to take a moment after that one.
I mean...
Also, we have to back up for a moment to talk about something that you really wanted to talk about. Where she inadvertently pictured Audrey.
Okay, so I want to talk about one of the earlier scenes after it's like the welcome back to school mixer, I guess.
Yeah, the art department cocktail party.
Yeah. So it's like the semester has started and they do a kickoff back to school at the head of the art department's like house. It doesn't matter. They're having a cocktail party. All the teachers are there. And Audrey's like, I'm going to go and mingle and meet all of these new people. And Michelle is there in the back of the garden alone, being a loner,
The edge of the darkness.
The edge of the darkness. Just being by herself at a cocktail party.
Illuminated by the moonlight only.
Which tracks. And Audrey's like, well, I'm going to go bebop over there and talk to her because I'm the sunshine in this scenario. And so they talk all evening and like look at the gardens and like hang out, and it's wonderful. And then Michelle goes home.
You can't convince me that wasn't their first date.
I mean, inadvertently a stroll through the gardens while they talked about life. Yes. But Michelle goes home and Michelle is divorced. I want to say recently divorced, but in there, it says like over a year. It's been like a year-ish, which, it takes people a different time to heal. Sure. She's still healing. And she has so much insecurity from her marriage.
That ex did a number on her.
That ex was a total bitch. We never even got to meet her, and I don't like her. She sucks.
Better hope I never run into her.
Number one,
in an alley
she divorced Michelle, which, whatever, people grow apart, and that's fine. But she left her cat.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who just abandons their pet?
She just left her cat. It wasn't even Michelle's cat. Like, no. Michelle never even pet this cat.
Michelle didn't even like cats.
Doesn't even like cats. And that bitch left her cat.
I like how this is the part that we're getting real fired up about.
Oh my God. Well, you don't just leave your animal.
But she did. There were a lot of scars left, emotional scars left.
Oh yeah,
from
emotional and then just like, I don't know, it's like if you've been in a really terrible relationship and somebody has said something really terrible to you, that
stick with your head.
It sticks in your head, and then if a scenario comes up that calls that back, you're gonna feel that every time. You're gonna feel that shitty way every time, even if it's not true. It was still said and it still hurts. And so her ex-wife was just awful and said all kinds of terrible things to her, but she hasn't felt sexual at all since the divorce. Like, had no desire to.
Or really probably before.
Because she did say that their sex life was dead, like way before they got divorced. And it's because her ex-wife was like, you're bad in bed. You never get me off. Like, you're bad with your hands. Okay. Insecurity would be at an all-time high.
So she comes back from this party and she's kind of.
Well, when Michelle gets back from the party, she's had a few drinks and she's a little bit loosey-goosey and feeling good, and has talked to Audrey all evening and actually has that feeling and decides to explore herself and her body for the first time in a really, really long time. And I thought that it was so beautiful. Like, when I'm reading a sex scene, I don't ever feel like I shouldn't be there, because like it's like a written book and it's like a sex scene that you're supposed to be experiencing with them. I don't know. I just felt like this like self-love scene and her like self-exploration after like an entire year of not feeling that at all, and finally like feeling a little bit reignited, but also super apprehensive and like insecure about it, was so beautiful.
It was very intimate in an emotional way. Even more so than just the actual act itself. I felt like it was raw.
I do too.
And it was just super emotional and deep, and aired those insecurities that you don't always see in books I feel like this.
I don't know. In that way, the way that it was like intimate and emotional and insecure and all of those things all wrapped up into one, I felt like it was so feminine.
Oh, it was
just because
it was feminine,
women,
it was beautiful.
Women are always going to be layered emotionally. We're going to be feeling a million different feelings at one time.
Not a lot of self-love scenes that I've read. At least that I've found. And so I was surprised and happy that this one was included. But then when it got to those deeper emotional levels, I was like, okay, this is really getting and digging in and getting somewhere. Also, she starts using her imagination and pictures certain like physical attributes of a partner that she doesn't know where they came from.
Right.
She's like, she just pulled them out of thin air.
Right, because she didn't want to picture her ex-wife, and she hasn't slept with anybody else, and so she was like, I'll just see what comes, but I want it to be like a faceless encounter, like whatever. But the hands had a turquoise ring on them, and the hair was like honey blonde hair. Where does this come from? Let me think.
How did they describe Audrey?
Which is so perfect, because in the moment she still doesn't get it, and then like pages later
in that scene though, there was a lot of talk about the hands and the hand with the turquoise ring, which circles us back to the pottery scene where Michelle spent, it felt like pages and pages and pages. In reality, it was probably like 2 paragraphs. In my mind, it was 10 pages of her just talking about how sexual Audrey's hands on the clay were. And when I stopped to think about it, I was like, absolutely. I get it.
Yeah. We got our ghost scene. You know what I mean?
Audrey even said, I've always had a ghost fantasy. And I was like, girl, got to live it in this one.
Absolutely. But also
Ghost the movie, not like Ghost as like
yeah, Ghost the movie, like the pottery scene. You know what we're talking about.
You know what you're talking about.
But I like she just and she was just sitting there like squirming in this chair watching her.
That like arts and crafts. That
and she kept being like, you have to make sure it's wet. Like it can't be too wet. Like don't make the clay too
hard,
wet.
But not too hard.
Now just enter 2 fingers here. This is what's called like this is what I like. Everything about it. I just hit my microphone. Did y'all hear that? I'm getting verklempt over here.
She's getting a little tore up. Both of our cheeks are real red right now, guys. And it's not just because it's hot in this room. I also, you and I talked before about the whole like sub-level of TikTok that is pottery throwing thirst traps.
Oh, it's there, and it is.
And that's all. I was just picturing those videos.
Me too.
The entire time I was
and they're making like
too.
eye contact with a camera while they like press their finger into the middle of the clay. I'm just, and then like stroking giant cones of clay, and I'm like, this isn't for me. No. This one isn't for me. But yeah, next.
But yeah, Michelle is getting very hot and bothered.
Right. I've never wanted to be clay, but in this scenario, I feel like I could get on board.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought it was really sweet because at some point, inevitably, when there's a sexy pottery scene, Michelle was having trouble. And again, it brought up a lot of insecurities about her hands. Where she was like...
She kept like punching holes through the side.
Which is a very common thing apparently when you're starting to learn pottery.
Have you ever thrown anything on the wheel, on the pottery wheel?
Absolutely not. No, I've not.
I took my daddy to a class one time. It was really cute.
Oh yeah, you did?
Yeah, for Father's Day because he's super crafty. But it is way harder.
Oh, I imagine like hand strength and arm strength that you need is much more than people realize.
It really is. And like centering it on the, like it's really hard. Like I was very surprised because people who are really good at it make it look like it's freaking easy. It's not
they're like,
easy.
I'm just going to hand gesture and boom, a face.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's hard.
But Michelle's getting kind of frustrated. And so Audrey reaches around her like you do and like guides her hands. And I'm like, whoo. Somebody open a window. It's getting hot in here. And of course, they both start really kind of leaning into the fact that they're attracted to each other.
And physically leaning into each other.
And physically leaning into each other. And Audrey starts drawing little hearts in clay on Michelle's arms. Oh
my God. It was so sweet. If you haven't checked out, I mean, obviously read the book.
Yes.
Go and check out Rachel Lacey's Instagram because she has some really fantastic fan art that she's posted of this scene. And it's so good.
I haven't looked at that
yet.
No,
it's Michelle sitting at the pottery wheel with Audrey behind her with her like drawing little hearts of her arm. And oh my God, like it was that.
It's a very sensual scene, but that one little moment put some sweetness into it.
It was very sweet.
Also, you let me listen to. I didn't listen to this book. I read it.
I listened to it,
and you played me part of the scene. And ma'am.
Listen, Quinn Riley, I don't know how you read these spicy scenes the way that you read these spicy scenes without feeling
some kind of way.
Spicy scenes. Like, this girl can get breathless so well. Like, I'm like, all of the gas, like, it's like she plans out this breath work before she even does it. She is living it, and I am here for it. Like, I literally cannot. I want to look up all of the books that she's read just so I can listen 100%. To her read them.
I've listened to 30 seconds, and I'm like, give me all of it. It's so good.
Yeah.
So they kiss.
Yeah, they
obviously
kiss.
After it. They're going to do something at this point.
Yeah, after the little heart scenario.
They kiss, and then they kind of freak out.
Yeah. Well, Michelle freaks out more than Audrey does. And
bless Michelle's heart.
I know. It took us forever to get to an actual sex scene, but I was absolutely
You were texting me because I was behind you reading
and you're never behind me, but in this one, I was
behind you, and you kept texting me like, girl, I need you. They still haven't kissed. The anger text that I got from you about, I'm on page whatever, and they still haven't kissed.
I needed it.
And then one day I finally get one, and it's just in all caps, finally.
The payoff was well worth the wait. I will say,
as bonus content, we're just going to post screenshots of our text combos while we're reading these books. Because those
are not safe for work.
Not at all. Yeah. Like I felt through the phone, through the text messages, your like frustration.
Like, come on. I need it so hard. I mean, the pining and the
tension
angst
in this
and
one
the
was
tension.
good.
Oh my God. It was
And it
so
also
wonderful.
I don't feel like this was overt tension either.
No.
This felt more like sly, like it's there, but they're not intentionally
Well, it
doing
took
kind of.
forever for either one of them to mention to the other that they actually had feelings for the other.
Yeah.
So they were both internalizing all of their tension and like reading into things that they thought might possibly be like a hint that the other person liked them, but then never vocalizing it. So they were both just living in this like, I don't know, purgatory of whether or not they wanted to have sex. I don't know.
But throughout this, and especially after the kiss and the freak out, I was super impressed because Audrey's the younger one in the age gap. And even though she's a full grown adult in her like early 30s, she's, got her big girl job. She's not a student. I think because they kept referring to the student teacher, dynamic or whatever, that I always just expected Michelle to be the more mature one out of the group. Yeah. But Audrey's communication maturity is admirable. Yeah. At the least. It was wonderful. But I also think that her communication skills probably came from her family. Growing, like her family dynamic. They were super close knit. She was adopted. Her brother was adopted. She had different race parents. Like it was just a very like open, blended, inclusive family. Michelle's family is very uptight. Yeah, uptight. And they had a lot of rules and like. And they weren't really okay with her sexuality. No, her mother kept trying to set her up with men, which was horrible because she'd been married to a woman, but every time she went home she would have to go to church with them even though she didn't agree with the church, and every time like she took her wife home it was just awkward. And I feel like a lot of you learn how to communicate with, and Michelle's very much an avoidance, like that's her default, is she's going to avoid the conflict. Whereas Audrey's like, let's just go ahead and take this head on and get it out of the way so it's not awkward. And I also really admired the fact that she hadn't dated that much because she was so focused on her career. But that was also something that she felt like she had not missed out, but her mom said something when she went home, like, I can tell that you have feelings for somebody and I don't want you to keep putting it off and miss out on like the adventure of a lifetime. Yeah, because she kept saying, well, I'm going to get to this milestone in my career. I'm going to get my master's. I'm going to get my PhD. Then I'm going to get a 10-year job and that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, what's next? What are you going to do? When are you ever going to let yourself have something else instead of working so hard? Her communication style was fantastic and seemed like, I don't know, like really thought through. Like every time they had a conflict, she was ready to talk about it. But when Michelle would say, I don't want to talk about it, or she could tell, even without her saying it, could tell that she was too flustered or too overwhelmed to not talk about it. She was like, well, you go take a shower. I'll go make us some tea. And then we can sit down after you've had your shower and then we can talk about it. Like give her space and let her breathe. Yeah. Reset, breathe, but we are going to talk about this because we're not going to let it just fester and become a problem. And I think that was really good. And even later on, like during the sex scene, Audrey's like, I've been tested recently, like having very I love that they brought that up. Yes, like that was so fantastic, and it's so relevant. I feel like people always I don't know, if you're gonna be free with your body, that is 100% your choice, and I support it. Go do what you want to do, but be safe about it and don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed to have conversations. It's like you're sharing your body. You should have those conversations just to make sure that you're safe, just to make sure that they're safe, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. I underlined that and was like, wow, I really appreciated that was included kind of in the middle of like a very sexy scene. Right. Because I feel like people usually, if you're like in the heat of the moment, you're going to feel like it's hard to just stop for a minute and say, hey, is this going to kill the vibe kind of thing? Yeah, like you don't want to kill the vibe, but it was so normal and it was so adult. Like I was really proud of her for that. Yeah, absolutely. I love though that the lead up what got them to actually sleep together was that Michelle went back and she had gone to watch Audrey teach this women in arts class, which was Michelle's dream class.
Yes.
And the first time she watched it didn't go very well because the wound was still too new. Mm-hmm. But after all of this, and when they really kind of started leaning into their attraction and the flirting and everything, she goes back and she really watches Audrey teach this class and is blown away.
Yeah.
But also super turned on.
Yeah. She's like, you did it so much better than I ever would
but
have.
I loved that the roles really started reversing at that moment to where Audrey used to have a crush on her when she was teaching, and now she's got a crush on Audrey
100%.
And really turned on the way Audrey was teaching that.
Yeah.
And the kiss scene in the classroom.
Oh my God.
Woo, doggy.
Against the podium. Like, it really took having a crush on your professor, like that fantasy, and just like blew it out of the, I mean, like,
yeah. So
now I'm just thinking about that.
Sorry, not sorry. But yeah. And so they finally get, to the scene. Audrey's having her great communication like she always does.
Yeah.
And Michelle's she just can't get out of her head.
Yeah.
And just can't, she keeps being, as you put it, haunted.
Yeah.
By this ex that, she's afraid that this is something that she's not very good at.
Yeah, because her ex had told her she was bad in bed and told her that she was bad with her hands. And
here comes Audrey, the queen of communication.
Yeah.
Just completely reassuring her in the healthiest way.
In the healthiest way, in the best moment. Like, she's like, I have no doubt that you're going to be just fine.
But if not, there's other things we can do.
Yeah, if you're not, that's fine.
Totally cool.
We don't have to, she was so understanding and gave her that pause.
That whole sex scene, as sexy as it was.
Yeah.
And it was steamy.
Oh, yeah.
And it was hot.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of that was also a master class in healthy communication.
With your partner.
With your partner in or out of intimate situations. Like, that whole thing was just like, I felt like a therapist's dream.
Because she's like, I see that you're upset. I feel that but it's okay. Like, just so reassuring and so like, I feel like some people would be like, ugh, I'm so turned off. Like,
or
you're
at least
all in
have
your
the
head.
Conversation, but then the mood's kind of killed and you don't continue on it. Audrey just was like, let's deal with this, but also we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
Because I'm still in this to win it. Like, I'm in it to win it.
I have no doubt. So you're going to be able to please me. Like, let's just work through this together. I'll prove your ex wrong. Yeah, like, let's do this.
So yeah, I just thought that was very well written on all the fronts.
Oh yeah.
On the hotness and the healthy communication.
Yeah.
And the way that those two blended seamlessly. I think that made that scene stand out for way more reasons than it was just hot AF.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was also that. If
oh my God. It. Yeah. No,
go
it was
read
wonderful.
It and then take a cold shower afterwards. Or not. Whatever. Do you.
Or someone else.
Or
whatever.
Or both. I love that scene, obviously. I think, too, that this book, in a way, followed the same line as most books along this same genre do, which is, they get together, they have some big situation.
Conflict.
Yeah, the conflict. Yeah. And then they reconcile.
I will say there was no third act breakup in this book, which was
there
marvelous.
There was conflict, but it did not lead to the third act breakup.
Like we said, Audrey is really good at communication. There was no breakup because they talked about everything.
And so I feel like I wasn't on this like huge emotional roller coaster with this one. Mm-hmm. After the tension broke, then we were just in for a ride. Yeah. And it was just really good. And there was stressors, but I don't feel like I was like holding my breath for them to get back together. Yeah, like, oh no, are they going to be? Yeah, no, it was, and I loved that actually. Like, everybody either loves or hates a third act breakup. Like most romance novels, I like a third act breakup. I totally do, but I didn't need it in this one. I feel a third act breakup usually because it leads to really hot makeup sex.
Well, yeah, for sure, but we got that epilogue, so
Speaking of which,
talk
about turning the tables.
Oh yeah.
At the end of it, Michelle's no longer a teacher. Spoiler alert. And Audrey is still just living her dream teaching art.
Exactly. Michelle is not unhappy about not being a teacher.
She goes on
by
to
choice.
be an author.
Yeah.
And have a really good time writing books at Audrey's suggestion, and finds her passion again. And I love it. Everybody ends up doing what they want. Their dream job at the end of it. But Michelle goes to visit Audrey in her office, and Audrey's wearing her tweed jacket. And literally the tables get turned, and Michelle's like, okay, I get it now. Yeah. I get this whole thing. Because she was not always comfortable with the fact that Audrey had a crush on her. Not necessarily that she wasn't uncomfortable about the crush, but it made her a little uncomfortable with their current relationship. Right.
And she did give pause to their age gap. Because I feel like it was really hard for her to separate Audrey, the professor, from Audrey the student.
The adult professor.
Yeah, Audrey, the adult professor, that's my colleague, that's on the same playing field as me, from Audrey, the student. And so she still kind of felt like she shouldn't be feeling the way she was feeling about Audrey in the beginning.
And I get that. I mean, you and I have talked about a movie that we love, but is also super problematic. Which is Bloomington. And this definitely gave me some Bloomington vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Here or there.
Well, the epilogue for sure, because they definitely dipped into the professor's student.
Oh, they role played. They full on dove right into that one.
They did, which is 100% fine with consenting adults. We love role play, but
absolutely.
The movie that we're talking about, Bloomington, is literally about a professor sleeping with one of her students. And that is problematic.
It should not happen. Predatory in the movie.
Well, yeah, definitely. Especially because they cast that young girl that looked like she was 13. That did not help.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's for another day.
Episode. If you've ever watched Bloomington, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't,
hit us up and let us know your thoughts. But also still, we will continuously watch that movie.
Yeah, I will still watch it. It's still bad. I mean, I'm going to watch Fatal Attraction too, but that doesn't mean I agree with murder.
Was there just a period of time where lesbian and sapphic movies were all about student-teacher relationships? Because Loving Annabelle,
I feel like that one is so much worse because that's high school.
Yeah.
And you're the one that told me to watch that movie.
Well, I mean, it's like one of those that you are supposed to watch, right? It's on a list of like movies you have to watch.
Definitely one of them. But I feel like,
but also
almost.
Anyway, we digress. But yeah, they really lean into that whole student-teacher fantasy. And good for them.
Good for them.
And good for Michelle. You could tell Michelle has very much loosened up. And I love that end of the book. Michelle is so
open
much
to it.
Happier. You can just tell.
Happier, more relaxed.
Yeah.
Like she showed up wearing what? Like sweatpants?
No, she was in jeans and a flannel.
Okay, that's the same compared to tweed. You know what I mean? Like she's not wearing her suit.
Lumberjack
she's wearing
tweed.
Yeah.
So they also get caught kissing by one of the students from the Pride Coalition.
Yeah.
Gia. Shout out to Gia. I loved her.
I did too.
She catches them kissing and she just like squeals. And it's like, I knew it. I knew it. And she makes this whole moment and then she's like, carry on. And just like waves them off and walks away.
I love that.
And I just loved the whole like carry on moment. Was great.
Dude, if I'd had two like sexy lesbian professors that were together, that would have been fucking goals. Like I would have been like, that is what I am searching for. Like I want that. If I was in college and I had those two women as role models, oh my God. How would you ever
First of all, I would be taking every single art
class. Exactly. I would have taken every single art history. Sign me up. Women in art?
Absolutely.
Yes, I love it. I love art so much. Especially the art standing at the front of the fucking room.
Would I have been taking ceramics? 100% in that ceramics class.
Oh, I just remembered. We wanted to talk about the fact that they used transcription services.
So along with just the other inclusivity things at the school, like the other ways that this college is trying to be more inclusive, like the all gender bathrooms, the Pride Coalition. Audrey is one of the first professors to really embrace and adopt this transcription software, which is where she wears a microphone and it transcribes what she's saying onto the screen for a deaf student that's in her class.
Yeah.
And it talks about some of the older professors being reluctant because, technology, it's hard.
Like, why do I need to do that? When really and truly all you have to do is put on a microphone.
But thinking back, I think not just for a student like that who's deaf, but a lot of students learn better by reading than listening.
Yeah.
So I think that could be, useful. Audrey used it in every class.
Every single one.
And so I think that, that was just a really cool, again, not something that they made a huge deal out of.
Right.
It came up a couple times in the book, mainly to kind of, I think, show how she was more progressive than the older, stodgier people in the department. But I also think that it's another way of just showing, how you can be inclusive in a lot of different ways. And it's easy.
Yeah,
it's
easy.
Hard.
Yeah. It's not like a giant change that you're going to have to go through.
It's a microphone and a software on a computer. It's not, rebuilding a whole building.
Yeah. I loved that so much.
I think that was cool too. There were a lot of things in this book that were small things that I was just really impressed that were included and not made big deals out of, but I feel like were big deals that they were included.
Yeah. It would be a big deal to all of the people that it affected.
Yeah, for sure. And so
I think, even if it's a small thing,
it normalized all of them,
exactly,
which was even better, I feel like.
I loved that.
I think along with the "now I'll know where to picture you" quote from Michelle, which stopped me dead in my tracks.
Yeah.
She got me again at the very end when we find out that one of Michelle's books is going to be published finally. And she says, "Let's get married before my book releases so I can sign a copy to my wife."
Oh, I remember that. That's
I'm
so
like,
good.
Listen, I'm taking notes. This girl's got game.
She has so
for
much
days.
game. Yeah.
Game for days.
God.
But also what a sweet moment to
It was
just
so
end
sweet.
the book on.
It was so perfect.
This one, I feel like checked so many boxes.
Oh yeah, this was definitely 5 stars for me. Like the spice was on point. The story was fantastic. The people that I envisioned like as the main characters were, they were just full characters. And that was the whole thing. They both had flaws and I loved that. They were just real humans.
Yeah. I'm very stingy with my 5 stars and I will give this one 5 stars.
Yay. Yeah. No, this was definitely 5 stars for me. And I'll probably read it again. Like it was so cozy. It was the perfect time to read it because they talked about her going on a hike and how beautiful Vermont was with all the changing
both want to go to
leaves.
Vermont.
And I've got to go to Vermont in the fall.
Also, I just want to see those witch windows that they talked about in person.
We both Googled it.
Google it. If you haven't done it, look it up. It's a real thing in Vermont.
Yeah, it's really cool. They're sideways windows, and apparently witches cannot fly their brooms through a sideways window. I don't know why they can't turn sideways, but that is the superstition behind a witch window.
I guess so.
I Googled it.
But yeah, we both want to go to Vermont now in the fall specifically.
And Rachel Lacey lives in Vermont, which is why she wrote it so well.
Rachel, hit us up if you want us to take a field trip.
We will 100% get in the car.
But yeah, 5 stars. I love it.
It was great.
So good.
I wouldn't have changed a thing.
No. And great fall vibes leading into next month's book.
Yes.
Which is Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. We're revisiting
an author that we love.
Yes, we love Ashley Herring Blake. Should be a nice little holiday read.
Yep.
Have you read this one before?
I have not read this one.
Me neither.
The only thing I've read of Ashley Herring Blake was the Bright Fall series. So I'm excited to revisit. But yeah, Make the Season Bright, Ashley Herring Blake. That'll be our next one. Thank you guys for listening so much. This was a really fun episode. If you haven't read the book already, hopefully we didn't spoil too much. We didn't spoil as much as we usually do. So
maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah, we spoiled it, but listen, it's still worth the read.
If you're here thinking you're not going to get spoilers, you didn't do your research before you hit play.
Sorry, that's our MO. We're going to spoil it, but we're going to have a good time doing it, and you guys keep listening, 100%. So hopefully you don't hate it.
Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you next month.
Yeah, catch you next month. See ya.